Hi and welcome everyone. This is Nikhil Kapahi, your host, currently doing this alongside my job at Amazon. These are some of the shorter clips from the long format conversation that we have on our channel. I hope you enjoy this.
Of course, there's a manager, and as you said, there's a very important relationship. But I still think that one, the managers don't get equipped, to manage like people. So that's something that, for example, in generally in Amazon and in any big tech, right? I would imagine the promotion process to be like this. Okay, you're a good engineer. You did great work. Now we'll promote you because of your great work. And now you get promoted. And after like a couple of promotions, the next jump is becoming a manager. But that is a complete different set of skills, you need as a manager. And that's where I think one is the manager is not equipped because they found themselves in this situation not by choice, but this is what either, the only way to grow in your career was, or that was the only need the team had, was to not have more, highly specialized individual contributors, but rather managers. And the second thing I think on the other side is, as an individual contributor, you're also not getting equipped on understanding that, okay, your manager might not be helping you in this, but you are the one who needs to be then in the driving seat. Like somebody has to drive the bus. So I'm wondering, is that something that you see also like across industries, that, managers don't get enough training? And surprisingly, there are some companies that do an amazing job at, making leaders. I think I faintly heard back in when I was working here that Procter and Gamble used to invest a lot in their leaders. And, people would not leave the companies because they could see that the company is so invested in them. And whenever those few people left, they would make great leaders because they had been, completely trained in a very, very hardcore leadership style system. So have you also seen that? Have you heard the similar things?
Yes. So absolutely. That's why I actually opened my business. So I think there is a part that's related to the individual. I am all for, and even philosophically, I believe that people should take ownership of what they do, of their lives, and not be victims or not be the actual actors in their story. And that's something that a high agency people do. And I believe that everyone, even people who are not naturally high agency, they can work towards building more ownership and changing mindset so that they're not in that constant mindset of things happen to me. But I do agree with you that it's not just the individual. So it's also a structural question within the company. And if we're talking about leaders specifically, I'm going to go back to this that I've given you before with an employee's engagement depends 70% on their direct manager. So if you think about it, if you throw in a manager and then you don't equip them with the right skills, that trickles down and that impacts all of your workforce. So, it's like a house of cards eventually, where the higher your leaders that are trained go, the more difficult it will be for you to sustain motivation and engagement and performance. So I have seen this, that managers are not necessarily given the right tools, that they're not trained. It's a totally different skill set. If you are a good salesperson, if you are the best salesperson in your team and you get promoted, it doesn't necessarily mean that you'll be a good manager. And, you're being set, if you're not being trained for it, it means that you're being set up to fail. So that is why I built my company based on that exact hypothesis, that through knowledge share, skill building, and behavior building, you can have managers and leaders be better at their job because they have the right tools to communicate, to lead, to coach, to listen, to be more empathetic. So all those things that eventually trickle down and influence their workforce and their employees to be better at their job, to be invested, to be interested. There we go. Did I not? Maybe I didn't. I forgot some points there.
No, I also think that it's almost like a hard skill. Like I think people call these soft skills. I think these are actually hard skills because it's similar like a technical skill, like, developing empathy as a leadership. Like some people, of course, are, because of their upbringing and their culture, they're more tuned towards that. But some who aren't, it's almost they should treat it as a hard skill. Like, this is the step-wise step approach I need to take. And I need to invest X hours, whatever, every week into this. Otherwise, it's not going to happen. And, again, high agency, right? Like they have to understand that they are the ones who are in the driving seat and they can make this happen.
If you thought this clip was interesting, I want you to go watch the whole conversation. These guests are exceptional people that I've found within my network. You will not find them anywhere else on the platform. If you want more of such content, please click subscribe and click the notification button so you get notified when the next video comes out. I really appreciate you for listening in. Thank you so much.